an idiot?
Because you're not idiot. You're just ignorant.
Oh, we kind of all are.
Not of 8-inch iron poles, 30 foot tall.
What does that even mean? Iron poles.
I'm just saying. And you guys have said some too. I'm just,
So to open, Sean is lamenting about how on previous podcasts we've been overly mean to him about his conspiracy theories.
It's not a matter of mean.
Oh, it's mean.
You guys
We
are just,
question. We just don't accept it.
We don't.
We question it.
But you're not accepting reality.
Well, how do we know it's reality? Just because you say it?
Well, because it's out there, and just because you don't
There's
know
a
it.
lot of stuff
So when
out
you
there.
say out there,
Well, kind of like Jesus.
Well,
He's out there.
the Loch
Is he
Ness-
real?
Jesus is definitely out
The
there.
picture of
Is
the
he
Loch Ness Monster is out there.
Is
do we
he
believe
real?
that?
Is
So
Jesus real?
how much of this stuff do you like on History Channel, like reputable sites?
All this stuff is on the History Channel.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
Ancient aliens?
Ancient Aliens is on the History
And
Channel.
hidden civilizations in jungles.
Well, it's real. There are hidden civilizations in
There
jungles.
are. I agree
Oak
with that.
Island?
Oak Island. Well, the shit on Oak Island's kind of weird, but they have a
Atlantis.
lot of. They've got a lot of stuff that. They've got
What
a
is-
lot of
hold on,
interesting
what is
things.
Oak Island? I've never heard of Oak Island.
They had a treasure or a big
Well, there
hole
was
or
there was
something, right?
the money pit, I think they called it, but there were also other things on the island. They found huge spheres, perfectly round rocks, 6 foot in diameter, buried in there. Just like how,
Those are Atlas stones for the world's strongest man.
yeah, sure, but how they
now,
get there?
now I'm afraid to make this joke. Were there crystal skulls or not?
Yeah,
Were there
well,
crystal
you tell
skulls
me,
on
were
Oak
there?
Island? See, now I feel bad. I don't
haven't-
want you to get mad at me.
I haven't heard anything about crystal skulls being on there, but there have been those large spheres that they found on there.
I do find
You know
some of that
there's-
stuff interesting, though, like Easter Island with the heads.
Oh, yeah.
I find that. I remember
They've always wondered where'd they come from and how'd they get there.
Well, guess what? They dug down and they found out there's bodies under those heads.
and I
Did they
remember
really?
Uh-huh.
and I remember
So
watching.
those are tombstones.
I remember watching Leonard Nimoy.
No, not bodies like that.
In
No,
search
it's
of.
the head. There's shoulders, arms, and legs.
Oh.
Like it's a full fucking statue.
I thought you meant they buried humans.
There's a
under
body
them.
under their control.
Well, what did Leonard Nimoy say?
I just remember watching. He used to have a
What
show
was that
back
show?
In Search of.
Yeah.
That was a great show.
Yes.
I remember that.
I remember watching that with my dad back in late 70s, maybe early 80s.
Yeah.
And I remember one of them was the heads and how they move slowly.
So, yes.
The heads of what?
Sorry.
The big stone
The
heads.
Easter Island heads.
How they turn?
I think how they move, right?
What do you mean move?
I don't know. I was
What, they
10.
rotate?
I was 10.
Mm.
You don't remember?
I could be wrong on that, but I remember the heads.
Why was 10 a long
Well,
time ago?
there
for
It was
you?
a very long time
There
ago.
were some concepts of how they got the stones to move them from the quarry over, and they actually were able to successfully do it, where they were able to teeter it up, and they had a team of people, like fucking 100,
Right.
and they had ropes, and they literally walked it.
That's how they
Just
did it.
back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But
That's
can
how
you
I did the refrigerator.
Yeah. Well,
Okay. There we go. That's literally the perfect example of how the ancient man did it.
well, they have some guy in
and
Florida.
I've seen they had they wondered how they got like the giant boulders of the pyramid into place, and they said they hypothesized that they took logs, right, and they rolled it on logs, and they took one
Correct.
log and put it in the front and back to the front, and they did it just like you were saying, Sean. They did it, and they proved that they could do it.
Right.
So I mean, it's just fast. And so what we were talking about in between podcasts is we were laughing about how we give you shit about your conspiracy theories. But the reality is, I think there are a ton of mysteries out there that are unexplained mysteries,
Right.
weird coincidences, weird patterns, weird, how'd they get there from here? How did they even know that? How could they possibly have the technology to understand that?
Well, they did.
And they did, and we don't really know. And
they
you
found
and you watch those shows, and
gadgets
it's cool.
and
It is
gears in the ocean that they're supposed to, what did they call the first computer that they found that was bottom of the ocean. They
in
pulled
a
it up.
shipwreck.
Yeah, in a ship. They had no idea what the fuck it was. It was sitting somewhere for a while, and they were
Yep.
like, "Hey, what's this?" And they did some X-rays of it, and they found like gears in there, and they kind of de-engineered it, and they kind of
Right.
figured out, well, this was an astrological machine that kind of dictated or predicted
navigate?
the stars and the movements and the
wormholes.
the time,
Well, they used to have those
potential wormholes.
What the hell were those things? They look like triangles. They'd hold them up, and they could tell by they had the degrees and stuff like that. That's what they used to navigate by.
Oh my God, amazing!
What are those called?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I
A
forgot.
kaleidoscope.
No.
No.
You know what the hell I'm talking
Triangle.
about.
Blah, 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 blah.
No.
So navigation tools by sailboats, or
Yeah, the ancient navigation tools, and it was a triangle type thing. It had angles and.
yeah, you line up a star somewhere, and where's north, and then you figure out which direction to go.
Is it not a trident, but ancient?
Oh, a trident is like a spear with 3 heads.
Oh, this is painful watching him type.
Yeah, he's trying.
That right there.
Sextant. Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Sextant.
Whoa, what is that?
Yeah, look-
Essex?
I mean, look at that thing.
Yeah, it's interesting.
About
Damn.
the horizon.
Oh,
and,
okay. Yes, I have seen versions of that. All right. So what is that supposed to do? That thing helps you navigate.
Get you to Pornhub.
Okay. So for our listeners, it is a
Sextant.com.
what does it look like? It's almost like not a rocking horse, but imagine the bottom of a rocking horse. It comes to a center at the top, and then it's got like a telescope on top of it. And it's got these circles and gears and
Yeah, I don't.
and
Well,
that thing is designed
the
to do
angle,
what?
It's for sighting or shooting an object. So you follow the horizon, and you're supposed to aim north, or you're supposed to put it on the North Star or something. There's something significant that you put it on.
Well,
I guess we
read
should
it. It says is a doubly reflecting navigation instrument that measures the angular distance between 2 visible objects. The primary use of a sextant is to measure the angle between an astronomical object and the horizon for the purpose of celestial navigation.
Oh wow! And how early did they figure out how to design this thing?
3.
Well,
Year 3.
Year 3.
Year 3.
well, 16.
Year 2, they worked on it for months.
Well, I mean, this particular version from Isaac Newton was 1643.
God, that's
hold on.
incredible.
That's Isaac Newton was born at that time.
Oh, well, that changes everything.
Well, it looks like-
whatever. It was a long fucking time ago.
Well, this picture down here looks like they're still using it in the Navy.
yeah,
They
well,
practice using it. I guess if everything goes down,
that's old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
if
go-
the satellites go down,
you can't hack that.
no, you can't hack that.
So
Well, they have some similar stuff like that. Like even in like the pyramids, I think with like Stonehenge, and where they core drill into the stones, and it's like you're sitting somewhere and they're trying to figure out when's the perfect time for us to start harvesting. Well, you gotta wait. No, it's too early, and you gotta wait till the stars all line up, and you like stand in this one little part, and you look, and you're like, oh, that star's lined up there, that star's lined up there. All right, guess what? Tomorrow we have sex, and then we're gonna go do the fields.
yeah. Well, it's a specific.
Maybe not the sex part,
Well,
but
no,
definitely.
because it's a
No,
specific time
no.
of year, right?
It's about motivation. Everything's centered around sex.
Yeah, over the years they just learned that hey, if these stars are lined up, it's
There you go. Hold on.
it's
Scroll
the
back
fall,
up a little bit.
right?
Let's do the little zoom in. We're start where it says the Arabs. Go down a little bit.
Well, the Arabs did quite a lot during the
No,
Golden
they
Age.
So it says the
A
Arabs
lot of
knew
that
all
came out of
about
Oh, that was the cradle of
technique.
civilization,
In
right?
the early
Euphrates
days,
and Tigris River.
They used 1 or 2
Tigris.
fingers with and a thumb and a little finger on an outstretched arm or arrow held at arm's length to sight the horizon to figure out the end of the Polaris at the upper. It is amazing. Yeah, whatever. I mean, there's so much we don't
Amazing.
know, and it continues everything. I mean, look, this goes across with the religion too, and I don't slam in religion by any means, but there's so much that we just don't fucking know. You
Yeah.
know, including the devil. We don't know shit about the devil.
And we
Except
don't want
avoid
to.
him, avoid him. Don't do it. Don't talk to him. Well, you know what? The devil's who? Lucifer. Lucifer used to be an angel. There's got to be some good in him. I mean, Darth Vader turned good.
At the very end.
Yeah, at the
Yeah,
very
he died.
end.
Yeah,
At
but the
very
planet
end.
continued. The life went on. It was like, Dad.
Speaking of Luke Skywalker's getting a lot of shit right now.
Oh.
I know. We talked about it in the last.
Oh, did we?
Yeah,
Did we talk about it in the podcast, or was
We
that before the
did.
I thought
podcast?
that was- I
No,
thought that was
during the
pre-gaming.
last- We just talked about it.
I don't
Yeah, on the
remember. I
last
don't.
one.
I had drink since then.
But anyway, welcome to the second half of the
All right,
podcast.
dudes like us. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul,
And I'm Jeff.
and we
Paul's bigger.
are going to an oldie for our bourbon. So let's get that knocked out of the way. That's it's axe and
No.
knife.
It's not even close. Well, it is kind of close, but Blade and Bow
Oh, Blade and Bow.
by Stitzel Weller.
What's the
91
what's the proof?
Mash bill.
Mash bill on it.
Well, if it says on here, I can't read it because it's
so tiny.
stinking small.
I tried to read it earlier. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm done."
Blade
Yeah.
and Bow. Blade and
there's
Bow, Mr.
no
Peter.
way I could read that.
Yeah.
So-
Well, let me read it, guys.
No, there you go.
Well, I'm not trying to be a dick. I just eat a lot of carrots. And yeah, that's not happening. All right, so he's going to look it up for us.
Let's taste.
Blade
It
and
tastes
Bow.
rye.
Interesting. I just heard Did you guys just hear the tinkle?
It's a key. Yes,
It is a key. So what's the deal there?
I think there's something. There's 4 different keys, 4 or 5 different keys, and if you collect them all and you go to the distillery, I think you can get something. Just like
really?
the Blanton's.
All right, so
collect all
this
the
is a
horses.
Louisville, Kentucky bourbon. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
Blade and Bow Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, a
Yeah.
homage to legendary
And it does.
Stitzel Weller Distillery.
And it does have a metal key that's hanging from the bottle. I'm not even sure I noticed that before.
There's the
which
Key
is-
Club, the Blade and Bow 22-year-old Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey Key Club.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, they got key number 5 on that one.
And it's a neat bottle, by the way.
Yes, it is.
It is a neat
Yeah, I don't know what you get with the Key Club. There is something I think. If you get maybe you get some barware. I don't know.
Nice.
Maybe it opens up the strip pull area.
Yeah, that first
Maybe.
one
Danger
there.
come out.
That first one there. Click on that. Let's see. Let's see if it tells us what this thing's made out of. Again, I can't read that. I don't know if you can see. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, they're using a lot of vocabulary there. The Solera
Holy moly.
liquid is mingled with other fine whiskeys, aged and bottled at the Stitzel Weller,
Oh, that's right. This is the Solaris
aged
system.
in a new charred American white oak barrels. This bourbon has a subtle aroma of fresh fruit and a taste
good.
that includes hints of bourbon and a subtle aroma of fresh fruit, and it tastes
Dried
that-
apricot
There you go. Well, there is our stone fruit.
Stone fruit.
There you go.
and ripe pear.
Wow.
Right pear.
Stone fruit.
Yep, stone fruit.
Yeah, find Blade and Bow and collect the 5 distinct keys, some rarer than others, that adorn every bottle.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, what do the keys unlock?
We don't know.
I think it's chastity belt.
Have you collected all 5 keys? We are now able to commemorate friends of the brand in all 50 states. Visit the 5 Key Club's page for updates and more information on how to join.
So it's a 5-lock chastity belt
It is. It's
Oh,
fine.
with requiring 5. That's some prize stuff behind that belt. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. All right, so this is an oldie but goodie, right? I mean, this is our second round of it, and good stuff.
Yeah, I like it.
Good
I
stuff.
think I'd replace this one. If once we may want to have a little bit more, then dump that in the infinity bottle, so we can finish the bottle off.
Yeah. Well,
Add to it.
I'm all about that.
Yeah.
So, just to reflect a little bit, we've had some. I don't know if we want to jump into the current events or we talked a little. We were going to talk about we've got the NFL playoffs coming up here. The Cincinnati Bengals are on their
That's
way,
right.
and you've got a horrible dilemma this weekend. I mean, I know you're going to choose family over football.
Right.
However, I would be on the fence. I'm with Paul. I think I would get the butt flu and stay home. You know.
Yeah, that's not an option. I'm not going to do that. But I posed the question. I was like, if the Cowboys were in the NFC playoff, how many people do you think would not go to this wedding?
Wow.
I wouldn't be going to the wedding.
I think they'd cancel the wedding.
I don't think
Because
they
I'm
would.
sure the
but-
groom. I'm sure the groom is a huge Cowboys fan.
Well, the father of the bride is a huge Cowboy fan.
I'm just thinking, you know what? We would all be going to the wedding.
That's
oh,
what
we
I mean.
would. We would. I feel awful for you. I mean, it. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you're
We
probably
would be going to the
you're
wedding.
getting
and that's all there
spoiled
is to
now
it, but-
because you have Joe Cool as your quarterback, and honey, it's not a big deal. We're gonna get to the Super Bowl like 10 times in a row.
well, you have
Yes.
Tableau on your phone, right?
Yes.
You're gonna watch it, right?
I'm
I
telling
plan on
you,
it.
you have to get
You
You
have
have-
earbuds?
during the reception.
You've got little earbuds you put in there?
I'm going to have big
No,
old
no, no.
headphones so they know not
you
to
don't
bug
do
me.
that in the sanctuary. What you do is
No,
you
it'll be
go,
during the reception. I will
yeah,
watch
no,
it.
you say, honey.
Whoa. You can't do it in the...
No,
I'm not
you
going to
say-
watch
you
a
say-
football game with the church.
You say,
No.
honey, I'm not feeling too good. I gotta go out to the bathroom. She's like, are you okay?
No, my wife is
I'm
too
not
smart
sure.
for that. She would not
I'm
fall
not
for
sure.
that.
Are you kidding? She won't let you watch the game during the you know what? Let it
Not
go.
in the sanctuary, but then you
No.
walk out, you
Why?
go to the bathroom.
What is wrong with that?
No, you don't watch
Are
the football
you
game
not-
Is
during the
this
ceremony.
sacrilegious?
It
During the
is
ceremony, it's about
sacrilegious.
respect. Yes.
You know what? I think God would respect the fact that He appreciates you showing up.
Okay, first off, God is not a Bengals fan.
Well, no, the way they've played the last 40 years.
What do they say? What was the old Cowboys stadium? They left the roof open, or
Also, God can
so
shine
that God
in.
could watch his Cowboys. I was like, just stop.
That's why everybody hates the
Oh,
Cowboys.
exactly. They're so obnoxious. And you get on me for being an obnoxious Titans fan, which is ridiculous.
Oh, you're the worst.
How?
If they were in the AFC
When do
playoffs,
I
it'd be
even ever
I
insufferable.
wish that you
When
could
do
have
I ever even talk
out-of-body
about the
experience.
Titans?
You know
Well, because they suck now.
what? Yeah, well, that's why. That's part
They
of
do not, by the way.
it. Oh, they're
well.
horrible. Oh, I'm sorry, what?
They do not suck. They have the 11th pick. Yeah, okay. Well, they suck this year. They lost 7 in a row. Yes, they suck. But I'm absolutely not an obnoxious Titans fan. I'm not.
No, I'm not an obnoxious or Bengals fan.
You're not. I give you credit for that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Quite honestly, Sean, you're not an obnoxious Cowboys fan. I would say the three of us are not obnoxious fans. But you treat me like I am an obnoxious Titans fan.
Let me put
and
it
I
this
take
way.
offense to that
Oh,
because you
and
hate them
You know
for
why?
no reason.
Do you know why?
No.
Because you were.
When?
You may not,
They've
Now-
sucked forever.
but you were.
I would have been an idiot because they've sucked forever. They haven't been to the Super Bowl since 2000.
Have you seen yourself whenever the play you are?
Oh, when I watch it by myself?
Dude,
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
When you watch it, period.
Yeah, when I watch it by myself because I'm an idiot when I watch the Titans.
So, you know what? I'm just gonna let it go.
But it's hold on. When I say obnoxious, I mean
You yell at the TV a lot.
okay, that's fine. But I'm not like, oh, the Titans are awesome. I like talk trash. You know what I mean? Oh,
Right.
the Titans are gonna roll your ass.
Well, have
oh,
you-
the Titans are
I'm gonna get
amazing.
Julio Jones.
Oh, there's no way we're gonna stop. You know, you can't stop us. I mean, I don't talk any trash about.
Have you seen the footage? My buddy in Cincinnati sent me a footage about a Cowboy fan. He's sitting there in front of the TV. He's wearing I think a Dak Prescott jersey. And something happens during the game, and he punches the TV, breaks the TV.
Who does? A fan?
A fan, and watch it in his house.
Oh God.
I'm like, why would you break your TV? Then he gets it and he throws it. And I'm just like, what? This is
So do you
stupid.
remember when the Oilers
It's horrible.
gave up that it used to be? I just love it now. It used to be the greatest collapse in NFL history, but it's no longer.
The
It was
greatest what?
Now the
greatest
Titans own it.
collapse. We were down.
Collapse.
We
So-
were up 35-3 in the third quarter, and we lost.
What, was Warren Moon the quarterback?
He was. He
Yeah.
was.
I figured.
Anyway,
He was good.
when we end up, Buffalo Bill, Jim Kelly. No, Frank Reich. Frank Reich, he was the coach of the Colts until he got fired.
Yeah, he got canned.
Yeah, he got canned. He's being courted right now with another team. Anyway, we lost 41-38 after being up 35-3 in the third quarter. Anyway, after that game, there was a report of a guy who shot his TV. Yeah, he literally shot his TV, and there was a guy that had a destroyed TV. And remember, they had the
big tube. They were
Those
big.
big
yeah,
old
big
cathode
tubes. Yeah,
ray.
yeah. And what was the big wide with the 3 colored?
Oh yeah, the big
Projection.
rear projection.
Some
TVs.
guy threw a boot through his, and there was I mean,
And those were expensive back then.
absolutely, thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I remember
I've never done that. I
discarding
did throw my glasses. but I
big
had to-
50-inch Toshiba, and they were amazingly lightweight. Those rear projection screens.
okay.
Well, it was
and-
just a box.
I never
Essentially.
I never had a rear projection TV. I had the
Oh.
one of those gigantic, obscene
They're very
Oh,
directional.
36-inch cathode ray tube
Oh,
CRT.
Yeah, so heavy.
Oh my god. And it was $3,600.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yes.
I bought top of the line. First TV we ever
$100
bought when
an
we moved
inch.
into our house. Oh, top of the line. Because you know what they do. When you're at the store, they have all these TVs all lined up,
Oh yes.
and they adjust.
They crank it.
Oh, they adjust the other ones to look like shit, and then you see the really expensive one. You're like, oh, totally. Oh, you're like, honey, what is it? We found our TV.
We need to finance our 3 years.
I think it was still paying on it.
Yeah, come over here. We're gonna you get your left kidney. We'll finance this for about 3 years.
We're on our
we'll give you a Betamax.
We're on our 28th year of payments right now.
That is just ridiculous.
With finance charges, it ends up being like $8,000.
Hey, we'll take it up to the front stairs, but
oh.
you got to take it upstairs because it's too heavy for us.
Oh, we did. I took it upstairs after it got retired, and we replaced it with the 50-inch, flat screen or whatever.
Right.
I did. I took it upstairs.
Oh.
Why? Just throw it away.
What?
Oh.
Why? And then I had to take it downstairs when I was going to throw it away.
No.
You know how we did it? We put it on a snow sled.
Just
And
a toboggan?
A toboggan. And I slid it down the stairs.
I just carried mine.
I swear to God. And it was a family effort.
Right.
2 people in front.
You can't even donate those anymore.
Oh, they're toxic.
You can't donate them.
No,
there's actually companies that will come by and pick them up. There's something.
But you have to pay to get them.
No, what you do is you drive to the dump when they're not looking.
You can't throw them
yeah,
away.
you can. You tip it into the thing, and you get in your car and you drive away.
At the dump?
At the dump.
What he said.
100%.
They look at what you're
Dude,
trying
you
to
can
dump.
throw
They
anything
100% do not.
You could fucking
They do
throw a
now.
dead body in there.
Every
and
time
drive away.
we've been, they
I've done
look
3.
and they're like, "What is this? What is that?" And
No.
they lift up. They have for me.
Never for me.
They have for me.
Well, that's why I take all my grass clippings and totally cover the TV.
Well, then they send you to a different place.
Well, no, I just kind of say, I have some things to throw in the dump, and then I'm going to go there. And then I quickly uncover it,
doesn't matter.
dump it in, I go,
I don't have
hurry,
any
get in
more,
there.
so it doesn't matter.
Well, I used to, doing construction sites, demolition, I'd go to the dump all the time. I'd throw away anything and everything. I didn't care. The thing is, I would bring the battery-powered saw. They're like, oh, those boards are too long. I'd cut them right then and there. I'd wait in line. You want me to cut them now, or you want me to cut them over there?
So obnoxious.
Oh, I was that guy.
Typical Cowboys fan.
Oh, yeah.
You know the one thing I won't do is that, the stuff
Cowboys lost, by the way.
I know.
Yes, they did.
NFL playoffs. The Cincinnati Bengals beat the Buffalo Bills.
Good for them.
Second week in a row.
Beat the crap out of them too.
Yeah. What?
No, second week in a row.
Well, I didn't mean second week, but
They beat the crap out of them. Bills look like shit.
Well, they were missing half their
did.
team, so And,
So were the Bengals.
But the Bills had both their cornerbacks gone. They both
Bengals had their
collided.
offensive line gone.
Oh.
Which one's more important?
No, the only reason why you won is because the entire Bills team was depleted.
Yeah.
So you guys are probably going to get
Because
crushed.
DeMar Hamlin wasn't there.
So what do you think is going to happen in the Chiefs?
Well, hold on.
Bengals
Back up
game?
to DeMar Hamlin. What position did he play?
He was a cornerback.
Corner.
Was he that great?
He was a rookie.
So no.
So did you see the conspiracy theory that he's dead? That really wasn't him at the game because you never saw him.
Yeah, but you'd see his family walking out of the hospital. They would not be like smiling like they were.
Well, I'm not saying that that's
stupid.
true, but
That's
there's a lot of shit going on online.
But Jeff can talk about shit like this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that it's true.
Yeah, because it wasn't on History Channel.
Yeah.
And it wasn't on TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, it might have been on TikTok.
But
No, I don't
I
have
haven't heard
TikTok.
that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that.
That's so
and there's
dumb.
footage because he's wearing the hood
And you can never see his face.
and the big thing. You never see his face, and it's all blurry and everything.
Well, he
And
does
they're
like a
you-
little heart thing, like, "Hey guys,
Oh, I
thank
could do
you."
that.
And does he have white arms and white
Yes.
hands?
And they're like, you mean they didn't have a camera inside the suite with him? Because they wanted to show him.
Well, here, you know what?
It's completely stupid.
In defense to what you're saying, the world prayed for him.
Right.
The world prayed for him.
They sure did.
In my opinion, I think the world deserves something. I think they should have given.
The world deserves to see him with
you know
the
what?
hoodie off.
I think it was warranted. I think I think they should have said, "Hey, look, here he is. He's fine."
He's been
Thank
nothing.
you for all
I
your
will. I
prayers.
will say this: he's been nothing but gracious. Like
Right.
his quotes and like his little heart. He does the heart shaped thing when they do show him. He's been nothing but humble and gracious about the outpouring of support that he's gotten. And
The only time you really saw him was in the hospital.
Yeah,
You haven't seen him since then.
So it maybe not be him.
I wonder.
And the other one was like, did they have heat in these suites? Why is he in this like -40 degree
well, that's
jacket with his hood up?
yeah, but that's
He's in a cryo chamber. Cryo chamber?
That's like a style. That's a style thing.
I know, but that's what's going around.
It is kind of stupid for him to have his hoodie.
I just think
on
that
in the
it would
suite.
have been it would
wasn't a
have been
hoodie, it
something
was like a
nice
winter
for them
coat.
to do.
Yeah, I know.
So by the way,
Winter
guys,
coat.
he was severely hurt. They stopped the game. I mean, that was a big deal. I mean, there's a lot of money involved in that. I just think it would have been a cool gesture to say, hey man, here he is. You know, maybe a little 30-second segment.
But you
saying,
didn't see him.
You know, that's it. And so that people would have been like, oh, good, thank God he's okay. I'm glad my prayer didn't go to waste.
All right.
And it's just a weird. The whole thing's weird to me. Like,
And they also
how they talked about how his recovery is going to be really long, except that he had no neurological damage. The whole thing is just weird.
they were so online they're interviewing like a trauma
Vaccine-related.
nurse, and they're like, if he's getting heart CPR for 9 minutes, he's going to have cracked ribs. He's not going to be having his arms up going like this.
Oh, what a great point.
Doing that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Interesting.
That
when
easily.
Because when you do CPR, and they did CPR, that was confirmed on the
Right.
field. He did have. I mean, and yes, you're right. If you're doing it right, you crack ribs.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So
maybe you crack ribs for the. Well, look, I'm playing devil's advocate. Well, 9 minutes. That's a long time to give CPR.
yeah.
Is that what they said? They did
Yeah.
CPR for 9 minutes.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Did they start CPR and then they had the defibrillator?
Well, I don't know. It's just what
defibrillator?
the nurse was saying. It's like if you're out for 9 minutes, you're getting CPR to the level that you're going to crack ribs,
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
and you're not going to be able to move like he was
I said,
that soon.
here's what I'm saying. The whole thing's weird. I don't want to say there's a conspiracy. I don't want to say that they.
well, his hands were in front of him, but I don't know if that's possible.
I
either.
don't. I don't know.
Oh
they-
no, his hands were.
Were they high?
Yeah.
I thought they were
No, well,
below
and
his chin level.
When they scored, I think his hands were up. They showed him. They showed him throughout the whole game, and his hands were way up in the
Well,
air.
yeah, but you couldn't. It was like an outline.
Right.
You couldn't see him.
I don't want to think there is a conspiracy or there's something
there's
weird
no
about it.
damn
I do want to
conspiracy,
think
man.
it's a young man who's recovering.
And maybe he doesn't look good, and he doesn't want people to see him. Maybe he has his oxygen
want it
tubes
all
on.
to
I think
be-
the NFL is a collection of buffoons, and they
Yes.
don't have any forethought on these types of things. That well, maybe they're so selfish and so self-absorbed
and so
They have-
calculated.
They have no idea what the fuck they're doing. I mean, they put on stupid advertisements of racial slurs on the something that insinuates that I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of them getting involved in all that shit. They have no foresight. They're just idiots. They're fucking idiots. And this is an example
to
of one of
me,
them.
they blow like the wind. Like whatever the sentiment is in the
Right.
moment.
If they really
They
cared
just-
about black people,
they just
would
blow
have
with
had
the
his
wind.
light. They would have him illuminated so you could fucking see him. If they really cared about black people, they would have done that.
Well,
But they didn't. They don't give a fuck about him. All they want is the spirit. All they want is the hey, look, we could check that off the box because we're part of that program. You're not.
I mean, it could be just down to the matter he's not strong enough to visit, but they wanted him there for that game. Maybe he's really not strong enough to go yet, but they wanted the story of he's in the building. So they had some dude.
Well,
doing
it's
it.
an inspiration for the team.
like
for
it's
sure.
not even him.
Yeah, he could be
I don't
he could be at home
know.
recovering.
I don't know.
Could have
That's
been his
just-
brother.
That just seems. How would that even pass the smell test for anybody involved in that? I mean, and his
Don't
family
know.
was with him in the suite, so of course it's him.
And they lost.
I hope it's him. Yeah, and they lost.
Yeah. Let's just move on because that whole thing
So
is just
the
weird.
Cincinnati
Weird,
Bengals
weird,
won. They're
weird.
going to be moving on, and the Dallas Cowboys were defeated by the San Francisco 49ers and with a rookie quarterback.
And they ended the game with potentially the stupidest play.
No, it was brilliant. If it had worked,
Well, nobody knows what
No.
it was.
I'm kidding.
No, it was absolutely ridiculous.
It was so awful.
And it was against the 49ers last year, that game you went to, where they screwed the pooch last year.
They ran out of time. Dak mismanaged the clock,
And he ran into his center, mismanaged.
They fucking threw the ball
He kept running instead of immediately sliding
Dude, there
And
was
they
no
ran out of time.
man. He was like,
And they ran out of time.
Noah Brown hit the ball. I mean, you talking about last year's or this year's?
Last year.
Yeah, well, this year he was like, just he threw the ball, boom, he was down.
Oh, he had no choice.
I mean, it was like,
Zeke
boom, boom, down.
Zeke got trucked. You see Zeke get just trucked?
He snapped the ball and was like, and then he was on his ass, getting run over, and Dak was like, ugh, and he's like, boom, fired it to Turpin.
Immediately hit.
And Turpin was like,
just catch down.
And I watched that
Lights
play.
out.
I watched that play about 10 times, and I watched all the players. I was like, okay, what were they going to do? Because then when he threw it, Dak ran up, and he was going like this, waiting for him to pitch it back to him.
So what was supposed to happen, from what I understand, is that Elliott was not supposed to get
bowled over.
He was not supposed to get flattened, right? And he was supposed to buy enough time to let Dak run around, and the lineman who was lined up on the left-hand side with Turpin was supposed to run up and block for Turpin.
Right.
And then Turpin was supposed to catch the ball, and then the lateral game begins. That's what was supposed to happen. But when Elliott got blasted,
destroyed.
poor guy. He got blasted, and then Dak was like, ugh. He didn't even have a chance to scramble.
Like,
no.
I'm gonna look here.
But you know what? Honestly, that play didn't matter.
No, it didn't. Well, they say they practice that. Zeke, do they actually block someone? You should have expected that to happen.
Well, yes, but I mean, come on.
They didn't practice that?
Yeah,
all right, Micah.
But it's a linebacker. It's a linebacker who's 50 pounds heavier.
They'll have Vander Esch or Micah Parsons. Okay, go against him. Zeke, you need to stop him.
You know, it's a play that you never want to run.
But here, I got a problem with Ezekiel Elliott. You know, and look, I think he's a tremendous athlete. I think he's a tremendous running back. I just think that his worthiness with the Dallas Cowboys has expired.
It has.
You know, because
it has.
the reality
I wonder
is he's unproductive.
I wonder if Dak Prescott's worthiness has expired.
He's going to be here for at least one more year.
So how many years has he been here? The magical
this is
number
7, I think.
Okay, the magical number, in my opinion, is 5. If they haven't produced by the 5th year of starting, not with the team, but starting.
Well, he took over in when, 2016?
He should have never taken over. I think Tony Romo still had it. I think he still had it.
No.
And I think...
Well, he's a much better commentator.
Well, he is a fantastic commentator.
He is. He's
the
best.
I think that Tony... had he not been hurt... in fact, I think... Look, I think they did Tony Romo wrong.
I agree.
Absolutely did him wrong.
I agree with that.
You know, and there's a lot of people out there, oh, Tony Romo, you know, he wasn't able to pull it through. You know what? You know, he needed time to develop the team.
I agree.
And I think that it was on the cusp, and Dak basically took a team that had been cultivated.
Yeah.
And basically rode on the coattails of what Tony Romo created.
Well, I mean, that's not atypical. But so back to my point, if you have been the starter for 5 straight years and you're not progressing as a team, it's bust time. You're a bust.
Well, he is what he is. He's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, and I think I don't know where Tannehill is with the Titans.
Those
turnovers.
Of
course, he already played with Miami. I'm not going to say he's a bust, but the Titans know he's.
I think Tannehill's in like year 7 or 8 at this point too.
Right, and they know exactly what they have with him. They know that you gotta. I mean, and this is the case with. I mean, there are plenty of.
Oh, Dak lost the game for us. I'm sorry to go back to that, but he lost the game by the interceptions.
Oh,
I mean, flat out horrible throws.
And there were 2 others that should have been. I mean, he was way off in that game. Way off.
Did you see him almost get that safety at the very end of the game?
Yeah.
If that guy wouldn't have pulled up, I don't know why the guy pulled up.
He should have clobbered him.
Yeah, he should have just been hammered.
I would have blown him up.
I wonder if he thought Dak, because he had the ball like this, I think.
Yeah, he did the little.
He probably thought that he was going to throw and he had to let up, but that was almost a safety right there. I mean, hit him like right in the face. Ran into the guy.
I know it. That was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, the playoffs are exciting. It's another year. The Bengals, they're playing.
Yeah, you're the only one left in the game, man.
Kansas City, and they'll win because
I think
Patrick
they will.
Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes isn't going to be as productive as he wants to be. I think he's not going to be good sitting in the pocket, and he's not going to be able to mobilize very much. And if he does, he's going to really fuck himself up. He may be productive for the first quarter, maybe the second quarter. After that, I think he's going to be fucked because whatever is going on with that ankle, it'll probably be fine, but it's going to get agitated.
Well, they're also going to shoot it up with all kinds of painkillers, cortisone, whole 9 yards.
I definitely wouldn't underestimate him for sure.
There's something.
He's good.
I agree, but I don't think that shooting him up is going to do any good in the third and fourth quarter. Once you start exercising those muscles,
they'll do it again at halftime.
It doesn't matter if you can feel it or not. I mean, it's a matter of production of those muscles.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, they're going to fail, and ultimately it'll hurt them.
I think it's going to be another 27-24 game.
That's like every game they play with.
I know it.
Team.
I think it's going to be a close one. The last one was overtime. Last year,
AFC Championship.
We got the Eagles in San Francisco.
49ers. Yeah, I don't know who's going to win that. I really don't.
I think the Eagles are going to win. I think the Eagles are going to win by a landslide.
I think the Eagles' offense is just slightly better than the 49ers' defense.
They didn't play this year, did they, in the regular season? 49ers, Eagles.
They're not in the same division. So
I know,
no.
but that doesn't mean.
Well,
anything.
I'm just thinking through that. I don't know. Honestly. I don't think so.
Because the Eagles lost one game, right? And that was who they lose? 2 games? One game or 2 games?
I thought it was 2, but
they lost to the Cowboys on one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when Hurts wasn't playing.
Yeah, they also lost to somebody else. Pretty sure
49ers.
They lost to the 49ers.
No, I don't know who it was.
They lost to the Eagles.
They lost to the Eagles. But yeah, that'll be.
I'm excited about these 2 games.
I think they got it right. I think these are the 4 best teams right now.
Yep, I agree. I think it's going to be. I honestly think it's going to be the Eagles and the Bengals. Yeah.
Is there any team that you feel was misrepresented and just didn't make it?
Like should not have been there?
Yeah. Besides Foxtrot, your fucking fantasy football team. I mean. I got second place in points.
I think the Bills were a little more overrated, especially at the beginning of the year
when they were going to be there.
They were like, these are Super Bowl, and I think the NFL was counting on the Bills to win that game. They wanted that story to continue.
Oh, yeah, sure. For interest.
Yeah, and the Bills...
I mean, they had every right to be there in the playoffs, but I mean...
What about Tom Brady?
I don't think they deserve to be there. They weren't very good this year.
Well, how about
they won the division?
How about Tom Brady?
8-9.
Have you seen some? There's been posts on Instagram of Tom Brady and the dude from the crypto king guy that just
the FTX guy.
Yeah, have you seen that?
No.
What do you mean?
So I mean, well, Tom Brady he advertised for that company.
Oh yeah, he's in trouble with that. There's a lawsuit against him.
I don't know why.
Because they were.
How would he know that
right?
company's
I think I agree with you. I think it's kind of bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. So they can lawsuit all he wants. It's stupid.
He was just a paid advertiser.
Yeah, that's it.
But he was also a part owner. Like,
well, he bought into it. But there's nothing wrong with.
I agree. I agree.
How do you know? Look.
He wasn't in the daily operations of that thing, was
right?
He?
Exactly. Anyway, so go back to your point. So he interviewed. What do you mean?
He wasn't interviewed. He just did a TikTok or some sort of video, and the guy. What is the
Sam something?
Sam Brinkman-Fried.
Yeah,
or Fried Brinkman or something.
There you go. Yeah, that's it.
What is ever going to happen with that guy? But basically, what my point is that I can't believe Tom Brady was tied into that. It's just. He's tied into that, and then he's divorced, and
he's had a rough year, man.
He's had a rough year, and I'm like, what the fuck? And in the sex ring that is associated with that whole program, because he was down there in wherever the fuck, the Bahamas.
Yeah, he was Bahamas. Yeah,
he was down there doing the video,
like Epstein. What
not the Virgin Islands with Epstein's at, but I mean down in the Bahamas, he was doing the video with Fried.
Oh.
Tom Brady was in the Bahamas doing the videos with Fried. So he was hanging out with them.
Well,
he was in the same.
So you're saying he was having sex parties with them?
I'm not saying he was anything. I'm just saying.
Where did the sex thing come up? What are you referring to?
Well, first of all, it was like a free for all.
They were polyamorous.
They were fucking anything that moved. They didn't care. They were like, we don't care about emotions or feelings like that. We just fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they did.
But who's we?
All the people in the. What is the name of the TX company?
FTX.
FTX.
Well, the board, the higher ups, the executives, right?
They were all involved in.
They were all like boning each other.
Yeah.
Total orgy.
Yes.
Yeah.
They all lived together and
I
boned
didn't
each
hear
other.
any of that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? They lived on the top floor. It was like a fucking 10-room condo. And they were just like, they wake up in the morning. Hey, how you doing, Bob? I'm doing fine. Hey, I had sex with Rachel last night. Oh, really? I had sex with Fred. Oh, that's good for me. You know what? I think I'm going to have sex with Fred tonight. How don't you take Rachel? That's what it was every single night for them.
Yeah.
Wow. And this is the executive team of
Correct.
FTX.
Well, the guys, the ones who ran it, yeah.
Nice.
I don't know why. I'm
And
sorry.
his girlfriend has turned on him.
Well, she was basically going to be like, you either tell us what's going on with this or you're going to jail.
Right.
Well, I mean, they turned so much money into magically. They have so much money funneled to that company.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because they've got it hidden. You're never going to find it. There's so much money that's just disappeared. What are they?
Well, I tell you something. I told Paul this the other day. I was like, "Have you watched the Bernie Madoff documentary on Netflix?" Yes.
Amazing.
Did you watch it?
No, you told me about it.
And it's amazing how that happened and what he did.
And how long it went on.
Yes, it went on for 40 years.
40 years.
Now, it got big in the 90s, right? That's when it got to be.
Did he actually do anything?
No.
There
were zero trades.
Do any money?
Zero
with anybody?
investment. That's what.
Zero
so
investments.
Just digest that. So he has bringing in all of this money that people are investing into the program, and it was invested into nothing. They bought no stocks, no funds, nothing.
Nothing.
So the money that was brought in was used to pay out to the people that bought in before them.
Yep.
In the beginning.
So some people made
the
money.
Pyramid scheme.
That's all it is, pyramid?
Pyramid
Correct.
scheme. 100%.
It was a Ponzi scheme, 100%.
They didn't even invest in anything. I would imagine they were at least trying to get some investment out of the money they had, but it went straight to the people that.
So some people actually made money. The people
in
the beginning made money, and
a lot.
There was a guy, once all this thing blew up, there was a guy who was put in charge of it, and he went back and said, "You made money off of this. I'm clawing this money back."
Yeah, they should.
And he's still doing that, I believe.
Absolutely. Anybody who made anything is illegally made. It was basically stolen money from somebody else.
Yep.
It was an investment. It was not a stock market increase. Or
but unfortunately, because they had a lot of people on there that they were interviewing, there's a couple who made money. He goes, "Yeah, we actually ended up making money, and they tried to take the money back, and we didn't have it because we lived on it. We spent it."
Oh, yeah. They're not at fault.
Yeah,
they thought they were totally legit.
Yeah, and they want $1 million from us, and we don't have that. We lived on it. We spent it. We don't have money anymore.
Yeah,
because this thing exploded on us, right? And that got up to
that's not fair.
It got up to $68 billion was the supposed value of it.
Wow,
$68 billion.
Had they just taken that money and invested it in some low interest stock,
anything,
anything, some low, something that was dependable.
But all they did was turn around and give it to the oldest investor.
Yeah, that was retarded. There's oh my god. I mean, you can say anything in retrospect, but.
Well, what's amazing is I recommend it. It's 4 episodes.
Yeah, I want to watch it.
And the SEC
blew it
big time. I think they had 4 times where they could have investigated. They had proof. There's another company. They couldn't believe how this guy was making 15% when this investment firm over here is doing 3% or 8%. How could you consistently...
And they're top-notch financial analysts, and they cannot get more than 3%.
Yeah,
in that market.
And they're like everybody lost during this stretch, but somehow Bernie is making 15%.
Right.
Always.
Never
dips. Always 13 to 15%. And there's a mathematician, one of these investment firms, I can't remember who it was, Merrill Lynch or something like that, had a mathematician as one of their little stats guys, right, to try to figure out what's going on. And they brought this stuff to him, and
he said it's impossible.
And he went in and he looked at every single trade that they had.
That they claimed they had.
And he had all these, it's math, right? And he wrote it up and sent it to the SEC and said it's impossible.
This is fraud.
And they went in and investigated, and Bernie talked himself out of it, and they left. They said, you're good to go. So he wrote up another one. He did this like every year for like 4 years in a row.
Same
No,
guy
Bernie paid
exposing
him
the
off.
fraud.
Well, Bernie Madoff was the guy on
He paid him
Wall
off, is
Street.
what I'm saying.
I don't know if there was any payment.
He
that
paid
was
off
never-
the guys
Makes you
investigating.
wonder. Makes you wonder.
I mean,
if-
how else would they have not moved
Right.
Well, they didn't cover that in this documentary. But then he sent another one that had
Of course not.
se-
Right?
17 or 18 red flags. Says red flag 1, laid everything out. Red flag 2, laid everything out. Every irrefutable proof.
Basically, it was the equivalent of a full-blown SEC audit.
Correct.
Is what this guy was putting
And,
together.
and he said, he goes, and he laid it out and he gave it to him. And he ended up, this guy, there's footage of it, testifying in front of Congress. And the SEC is in the table next to him. And he's sitting here and he just lays it out and says, you guys failed. You did this. You did this. You guys
I told you
basically
this. I
suck.
told you that. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, and basically, and then the SEC is just sitting there like this with their hand. What can they say? And then the congressman pile on and says, "You guys are terrible." Right?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. So SEC is supposed to be watching Wall Street. Who's watching SEC? Is
Nobody.
What the question is, right? So it was a huge failure because what
It's a
that
government agency.
because
Come
what
on.
that did is
They're all the
it gave
same.
legitimacy to Madoff.
Well,
Madoff could
governments-
say they investigated me. I'm legit. There's nothing wrong.
Well, some of these
Give me your
guys,
money.
they just simply don't care about life. They don't include the whole thing of life, and like Kamala Harris in her little speech about the
I'm trying to work
Her
that
Bill
out.
of Rights. No.
The right to
uh,
life.
the right to life.
No,
yeah.
what is it?
the declarations? Yeah, no, the Bill of Rights.
No, it's not Bill of Rights. It's the Declaration.
Emancipation Proclamation
No, where is the right to life, liberty, and happiness? That is in the.
and the pursuit of happiness.
I know. That's
It's the Declaration of Independence.
yes, Declaration of Independence. That's it. Sorry,
Yes.
Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
So continue. Sorry.
Well, I mean, that was essentially it. I mean, she goes off and she's like saying, you know, A, B, C, and leaves out the whole life part.
Yeah, she
you know,
excluded life.
yeah.
Well, because it's giving too much of a nod to
The abortion thing.
whatever.
You know,
It is.
Yeah, it is, but yeah, it's ridiculous.
so I mean, you know,
and it's actually bringing more light to it because she admitted it.
yeah.
If she just
Yes.
would have said it, it would have been gone.
So my daughter,
That's right.
One of my kids brought this up to me last night. You know, and I was first of all, she said that I was talking. She was brought up. She said, "Dad, I don't know what congressman this was or what politician this was, but you know, I think she was alluding to AOC. But she was talking about women's rights and the support of women. And from that one perspective, I told her, so like AOC is smart, you know, from certain things. She's an idiot from the grand shot. I mean, she's an absolute idiot.
Right.
However, you know, she's not a total buffoon because she's a congressman.
Right.
So I mean,
Congressperson.
congressperson, whatever.
No,
fuck, I don't give a
congressman.
fuck. She's
I'm
a
kidding.
congresswoman.
I'm kidding.
So she's but the thing is that all these people, they go to school. I mean, they're educated, and you know, when it comes to Democrats and Republicans, they agree on a lot of things. It's just that the differences are just blown out of the water. You know, I as a Republican totally disagree with AOC's principles and policies that she tries to line up for people. And I was like, well, once you get a little bit older and start understanding some of those policies, you'll learn that you have a ticket with a person like AOC. You're just like, hey, well, you know what? I think AOC, she explains herself well, but and she likes a bunch of things. But you got to think of, all right, well, great, she supports women. Well, you know what, motherfucker? Everyone should support women. That's ridiculous. Everyone should
Right.
support everybody. It's, you know, why should you? That's kind of like, hey, I like cheeseburgers. What the fuck? I mean, how important is that? You know,
Well, it's just like they try to paint the conservative as we're against the climate, right? Well, we hate the climate and
Right.
conservative. No, we all want a clean climate.
Yeah, we're anti-climate, anti-women. To your point.
Yeah.
Anti this, anti that. Well, we're not.
No, that's
We're,
not-
Yeah.
it's about legislation that makes sense.
yeah, just because we don't talk about women doesn't mean we don't care. It's just that women aren't the problem. You know, we don't want.
Women are the problem. Just kidding.
Oh boy. So, well, anyways, it was an interesting conversation because it just shows that the I was kind of happy that she would kind of spark some interest in it.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
that's encouraging. It's very rare that my boys like say something, ask about a political story, or I mean, because they could,
Steven will send me
they
some
couldn't
stuff.
care less.
Yeah, Steven will send me some stuff. He follows some stuff and he'll send it to me, and it'll be like, this is something Biden does or something like that, right?
I should say, so they don't read any articles, but like TikTok, right? Like TikTok or Instagram. I mean, like you were saying,
That seems to be the flavor. I mean,
yeah. I mean, those things pop
it's
up all the time.
addicting. It's
yeah,
my
those
God.
things pop up all the time, and somebody said this, and then there'll be it's funny. It'll be a guy or a girl like playing a clip of a politician saying something, right? And then they'll stop it, and then they'll show them going,
Right.
okay, really? And then they'll continue the clip where they're saying something else, and then they'll go, oh, right, okay.
Stupid. It's so stupid.
Stupid little clips like that. But they see that, and then they start to connect with these politicians, and they start to connect with, their something's not right.
Well, the problem with a lot of that TikTok and the little short Instagram videos is a lot of that is
It's out of context.
Yeah, I mean they're taking snippets of these
Totally
things.
out of context.
And you have to recognize that. I don't know if our kids necessarily understand that.
They need to watch the debates. And the problem with even with the Arizona governor race, they opted out of the debates.
Well, she did.
Katie Holmes
broad.
and what was the bitch's name?
Hobbs. No, it's Hobbs.
Hobbs. Katie Hobbs and whatever. So
Katie Hobbs is the Democrat who won.
yeah,
Correct.
And then it
Carrie
was
Lake. Carrie Lake.
Carrie Lake. There you
Carrie
go.
Lake.
So Hobbs totally sidestepped the debates. Had she debated with her, she would have gotten ripped apart.
Oh,
So-
Well, that's why she didn't debate.
yeah.
that-
Lake was a very effective debater.
And that's the so that's
frustrating
the
is
key
that?
to everything. All right, it's like you watch the little snippets. It's all about context. If you watch a little 10-second excerpt, well, it's easy to be influenced by that. But the meat of it is the full on debate, and that's why I really enjoy watching Donald Trump in some of these debates. Like when he debated Hillary Clinton,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
dude, he tore her apart.
Didn't.
He tore her
Well,
apart.
I guess it kind of did matter that one. He actually won that election, right?
Yeah,
So-
he
Yeah, he
tore apart. In the thing is that when he went to go debate against Biden, I mean, it was the moderator that was shutting him down.
Yeah, who was that guy?
It was the guy from fucking
Fox.
CNN, Chris Cuomo or
Chris
Chris
Wallace.
Chris
Chris
Wallace,
Wallace.
piece of shit cock sucking.
Oh, and then guess what? He went over to CNN.
Is he even
MSNBC.
is he even
right?
on the news
oh,
anymore?
MSNBC.
Is he even on in the air anymore?
I don't.
I don't
Because
see
he
him.
went on to that CNN subscription thing that they killed.
Failed miserably. No, it was CNN.
It was
The
CNN.
CNN
Yeah.
app or something.
CNN Plus or whatever they called it. That failed miserably, and they canceled it.
Right.
So I don't know if he's anywhere else.
Fuck him.
If he is,
No.
it's pretty small.
I mean, long story short, I mean,
Yeah, he was.
he did his job.
Talk about a wolf in sheep's clothing, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
what a total
Yeah.
piece of shit, and completely defending Biden for, that was an unfair debate. But back to the debate, the debates are actually the best you can be when it comes to, if you want to learn what your congressman or your politician is all about, just watch the debates.
or what the issues are.
Yeah,
or-
I think
how
that-
well are they spoken?
I think, unfortunately, Katie Hobbs may have set a precedent, and I think you'll see more people opt out
Yeah.
of these if they're
Well, I mean,
if they're
who
weak.
was the dude that had the stroke? And ended up,
Fetterman?
yeah, Fetterman. And,
I'm
God.
surprised he did that. He fucking won,
yeah, and he did decide to do one debate,
and it was a disaster.
and it was a disaster.
because he stuttered so bad.
Well, I think Oz
And
was
he
such a poor candidate from what I've read after the fact.
Shit, man, we could have put up anybody against.
Yeah.
I mean, what the?
he
Now,
should
why,
have.
now, why did he lose? Was that a?
Well, he was seen as an outsider.
Well, and he's a Muslim,
Well, I think that.
and
Well,
so that
may
probably
have.
didn't help.
Well, he's an outsider
Well,
as
I mean,
well.
Obama.
not that I care, but I mean,
Obama was a
No.
Muslim.
well, he doesn't claim to be, but
Are you kidding me? He's a devout Muslim.
no, he isn't.
Oh, Barack Obama.
Barack Obama is not. He is not a self-proclaimed Muslim.
He went to
100% not.
What was the church he went to?
The brother church that hates
Scientology?
Israelis.
No. It was.
No, he's absolutely not a self-professed Islamic Muslim or whatever. He's not.
He went to a different kind of church.
There were people that claimed that.
I wish I had my computer.
Oh, there were people that claimed that. Like they accused him of being a Muslim, but he was not. No. I mean, he says he's not. So, but anyway, so Fetterman. I mean, what the hell? I think you're right. I mean, back to your point, it was like more and more people realize that debates are harmful.
Correct. If you're not strong,
so they're just not going to do it.
Yeah. If you're not strong,
how is that allowed?
Just be like, I'm not going to do one.
Yeah. So how is the American public
I'm just
okay with that?
Yeah, I'm just going to throw out these ads slamming her or him and say, look at me, I'm good. This is what I'm for.
And that's what scares me. The American public they just don't care. They just let things happen. Like this whole, not to get too deep into politics like we always do. But
I want to dive in, bitch.
Like the scandal, the document scandal, the classified document scandal that's going on with Biden
right
versus Trump.
Now they found him at Pence's office.
Exactly. It's everywhere. Well, no.
Whoa, back up.
So
Mike Pence?
Yes.
Yeah. So the story behind that is there was so much publicity about what was going on with Biden and them finding documents everywhere that Pence reached out to his lawyer and said, "Hey, man, can you make sure I don't have any classified documents anywhere?" And he was like, "Can you go look to see if I have anything that I shouldn't have?" Because Pence is like the ultimate upstanding guy. He really is.
In theory.
Like almost nauseatingly. But anyway, so
even Trump put that out there.
He did.
Trump put a post out there, I don't know if it's Twitter or something, it's saying that, Mike Pence would never, ever, knowingly, ever.
Yeah. He really is that guy. He is like
Leave him alone, is what he said.
He's the guy that will not have lunch.
They don't get along right now.
He will not have...
Trump defended the shit out of him.
He will not have lunch alone with a woman.
Correct.
Because that is not the right thing to do.
Right.
I mean, he is that hardcore. And he even took heat for that. Like
he did.
He was like, really? You can't have lunch with a woman? He's like, I shouldn't be alone with a woman that's not my wife. Period. And I applaud that. I mean,
I don't have a problem with that. It's
I don't have a problem with that
either.
either.
It's not me, but if that's what he wants to do,
so he reached out to his lawyer. He asked his lawyer to see if he has any, documents.
Maybe he's gay.
No.
I don't believe so.
I mean, I've never sucked his dick, but I mean...
Well, yeah, because if you do, that's the definition.
Gay.
You either do or you don't.
That'll make you gay, right? That'll make him gay because he's not sucking it.
Well, good question. If you get... Okay, never mind. Anyway.
God.
So he asked his lawyer. His lawyer did look, and his lawyer found some stuff. So, there you have it.
But the press is they're gonna pounce on that.
Well, I think the FBI should raid Pence's house and break down his door and his windows and hut and come in from the roof.
You know what? Let them do it.
Just like they did
but if they find shit, then
or whatever it is.
Bring it out. What's it? Michelle Obama was on one of the nightlife shows. In the the host. The guy that was making fun of Trump's wife, Melania.
They all do that,
Steve Colbert.
No, it was another one. It didn't matter. Anyways, the joke was... Well,
Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah, that fucker. He was like saying to Michelle Obama, well, are you going to wrap a present, or if you're going to use any of the top secret papers to wrap the present as a joke? And Michelle Obama was like, we don't have any of those documents at our house. If we did, Barack would be probably tucked away in some jail, some prison, by now.
I guarantee there's classified documents in the Obama house.
I think every president has them.
Every single, seriously. Oh, and then what they say? Oh, this is my favorite. Who's the girl on The View?
Jordan
Oprah
Behar.
Winfrey. No, not Oprah Winfrey.
Whoopi
Whoopi Goldberg.
Fat ass whore.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
I'm sorry, farting whore.
Yeah, that's not what I said.
Did she fart?
Oh, she's a fucking barnyard animal.
Okay. Wow, that's not what I said. But anyway.
She farts a lot?
So listen.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So
Sorry.
when the document scandal hit, she was like like totally like
Ooh,
defending
had sausage.
Biden and said that, well, all the documents that Biden had, he declassified when he was VP.
No, he's not allowed to do that.
You can't declassify anything. You can't declassify shit as a VP.
She's
Right.
such a fucking
She's
ignorant
such-
piece of shit.
I mean, what you know?
Did
what
anyone
makes,
call her out on that?
and you know what makes me so mad? They just lie. They lie and lie and lie.
it's the power of suggestion.
And that platform they have, The View, it's viewed by millions and millions and millions of people.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah.
It
Is it?
is. Women,
Unfortunately, it
women
is.
especially. And they just lie and lie and lie. And it's
and
heartbreaking.
they keep it running. They need to be fucking whacked.
Wow.
Fuck them all.
They didn't bring
Ooh,
Barbara.
Joy Reid, is that bitch's name?
Wow.
No, Joy Behar.
Joy Behar. They don't
Did
need to
you-
be whacked.
Did
They
you
need to.
did you finish your
I did.
blade and bow?
They
oh,
fucking.
okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, never mind.
No, they don't need to be whacked. Dude, they need to be drug out in the fucking streets and beat the shit out of.
Okay.
They
well,
need to
that-
bring back Barbara Walters and put that show back in where it needs to be.
Mm.
Yeah, they
It's
should bring
not
her
where.
back.
It's not where. you know,
I think they should bring
it's
her
slanted.
back and Betty White.
And Betty White.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
Well-
those two should probably co-host it.
they need to step away from politics.
It's
and stick-
unbelievable
and
what they
stick
get
to
away with.
fucking baking cakes and
I've
sucking
never-
dick. That's
I've-
what they need to stick to.
I've never
Wow.
watched the show.
Cosmopolitan.
I've seen
shit,
snippets.
you know,
Is the
Wow.
whole thing politically driven?
not all of it.
I've never watched it and never
Some of
will.
it's interviews. They bring a person in every time, and they talk about that to that person. And they just interview them, and they're like, "Well, what do you mean?" But they talk.
I mean, it's
Trump!
like this. It's like this. I mean, they just bullshit. They talk.
Well, I
I
get
mean,
it.
yeah.
So we're the View.
Well, no, we're
and
not
we're
because we're
spewing-
not
we're
fucking
spewing
idiots like them.
blatant lies about everything.
No, we don't talk. I mean,
Especially ancient aliens.
No, unless I talk about an 8-inch fucking 30-foot pole, you know,
8-inch.
with the penis head on top.
Is that a Beto's rocket? What are you
No.
talking about
Fuck
here?
Beto
What
too,
what
man.
is he getting? What is he up to these days? Have we seen anything?
I thought he was going to buy the Commanders. Is the latest.
No, that's
he's gonna what?
Bezos. That's Bezos. I was thinking Beta Cuck.
Oh, that's what I meant. I meant Bezos the whole time. I was
Yeah.
saying Beto. God, how
yeah, he's going to
idiot.
sell the Washington Post so he could buy the Commanders,
Try the Commanders. Yeah.
What the football team?
the
Bezos.
Washington Redskins. Yes,
Yeah, the Redskins.
because Dan Snyder's going to get chased out. He's
Yeah.
getting too much pressure.
Yeah. But Beto, you talked about Beto.
Beto.
You
Yeah,
know,
what's
it's
he?
interesting. There are two people that will never be
You mean Robert?
elected. It's Beto and
The
That's
big
not
big
true,
broad. Abrams.
That's
yes.
not true.
Abrams. And both of them, they just continue to put them out there,
All right, let me tell you something.
consuming
Abraham
millions
Lincoln-
of dollars.
Abraham Lincoln went through 15 years.
I don't know.
No, what do you mean?
I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same.
No. Hold on. Abraham Lincoln went 15 years
Yeah.
of campaigning year after year after year after, and he was finally recognized as someone. He was finally recognized as slavery was wrong.
Right.
Yeah, but news didn't travel quite as quick back then.
Yeah. I don't,
well, not 15 fucking years worth.
I don't think it's a fair analogy, personally. I don't know.
Well, all I'm saying is that it takes a while sometimes for things to. I don't want him to, but I'm just saying failure isn't necessarily something
Now,
you should accept.
Massive.
If
Failure.
Texas gets blue enough, it can
Oh
happen.
God, we're fucking turning blue. I mean, have you seen?
I don't know. Right now, I feel like I felt like it was turning blue, and now it's been like stopped. I'm not saying it's been a red push back, but I feel like the red push has stopped.
Well, I think.
Am I being overly optimistic?
Well, I think the
I'm hoping, but
the
we got a nod from the producer.
Well, I think the folks from California that are coming here are not the libs we necessarily think they
Agreed.
are. There are some that are coming.
well, yeah, the libs. They left California for a reason.
yeah,
And-
because
correct,
they're
'cause they didn't
upset
wanna-
about the regulations and upset about the bullshit legislation that they're doing.
Right.
Uh-huh.
You know,
I'm
on that-
excited
on
about
that
paying
note-
$5 million per black for every black citizen in certain cities
Right.
for reparations.
$5
Did you
million
s-
dollars a piece.
Did you see they're trying to pass a tax now? It's called a wealth tax,
Yes.
global wealth tax,
Yes.
that will tax people who moved out of California.
Had money before they moved out.
Yeah, so if you lived in California,
How can they cross county lines like that?
Yeah, they're saying it's
it's
unconstitutional.
unconstitutional. There's no taxation without representation. If I don't live there, I can't vote, so you can't represent me.
Yeah,
How
but
you
they're
gonna tax
saying
me?
you were living here, and it's a retroactive type of
No.
wealth tax. Oh,
How?
it's bullshit. It's total bullshit.
How? How are they going to do that?
They can't. It won't fly. Other states are trying to do it too. It's not
well,
just
because
California.
they're broke.
I know.
Stop your spending.
So
it's
do
not
you?
a tax problem; it's a spend problem.
Yeah. Do you remember? Do you remember when they had that massive rain? Like they went through like 10 days of rain.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well,
it was
There
I
was
mean,
an
right now
estimated-
they have horrible storms right now. I mean,
There
water
was-
is just
There was an estimated 35 trillion gallons of water dropped on the state of California.
none of it was harvested.
95% went out to the ocean.
That's because-
95%.
It's because they didn't plan. They don't. They
Well, they don't have
there's a couple
they,
of
they don't have the
reasons.
means to plan.
That's right. There's a couple of reasons. First off, they have not enough reservoirs.
Yes.
They have no reservoirs. The reservoirs they do have, the floodgates are open to a large degree because of the fish in the delta, the tiny little fish that
Right.
Trump was dogging them about. That's a big part of it.
The
And
silver
then, of course,
dart.
in urban areas, they have no reclamation infrastructure. Meaning they have these giant. I mean, you've seen them like in the Terminator movies, giant cement.
Oh yeah,
Cement,
They're racetracks and in Greece they're
and-
driving the
Right.
racing
Oh
down there.
yeah, exactly, 100%.
Grease lightning.
Totally. He's on the motorcycle doing the boom, boom, with the one armed
Oh yeah, that's true.
Terminator. That was awesome scene,
Yes,
by
it
the way.
was.
Anyway, so all that water just they have no way to reclaim it, and so I know we're just idiots, and it goes right out to the ocean, right?
Yes.
And meanwhile, that would have been if they had harvested a small percentage of it, it would have been enough water to sustain them for 10 years.
They're idiots.
They're idiots. I'm sorry. I mean, just
It's water management. It's forest management because all the fires out there because they don't
Yep.
want to disrupt
So
the cockroach.
I know.
You have Ellen
I know.
DeGenerate that posted some sort of little video. There was all this water that
Yes.
was just
Running
flowing
everywhere.
violently,
and people
behind
were
her.
running out there and scooping it up in
Yeah,
cups.
well, she was like standing out there, just like, guys, pray for us. No, she was like, I can't believe, pray for California with all this shit going on, with the water, because it was violently running right by her.
But that's real. I mean,
Yeah, that is
all
real,
throughout
but-
the country, when there was massive flooding, that's a bad thing. So yes, I agree with that. But keep going.
No, well, that was basically it.
Oh. So you're like criticizing her for being upset about flooding,
it wasn't flooding. It
people
was
dying and floating around,
That's not
No,
happening.
it was
cars
the
upside down.
it was the
Not happening.
this is happening
None
because
of
of
that.
humans.
Yeah.
Comment, I believe.
Yeah, I know.
This is why it's doing this
and that's
because
the problem.
I drive a car.
That's the problem. We become desensitized and have a lack of compassion, right? When horrible things happen in California, just like horrible things happen everywhere, right? And the Mississippi floods, disasters happen all over the country, right? But we have compassion there, and we lack compassion for California. And
They've done it to themselves.
I know,
because
and
they
maybe they
have
do, maybe
extremely
they
poor
don't.
planning.
But they always talk about landslides, right? Landslides that wipe out this and that, or like you said, forest fires because they didn't manage their forests, or I don't know about the flooding. I mean, there's nothing you can do about flooding other than having reservoirs, right, and stuff like that.
Right.
Oh yeah,
But you know what? But isn't that true though? We sit back and go, California,
they've been
they brought it on
irresponsible.
themselves.
They've been irresponsible with their money.
Yeah.
They collect taxes and they pay out irresponsibly, and this reparation thing is an example of a microcosm of the stupid ass spending that they're doing.
Yeah, it's
the
misguided-
spending on hypodermic
Yeah.
needles for the drug fucking epidemic they have, and saying, hey, well, we're gonna. You can go in California right now. You can go to these little clinics and you can pick up everything that you need to go get fucked up for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, you
I
can.
could pick up
Or
the needles.
free.
I could pick up the little rubber things to
Can
go
you get the
around my
little
arm.
alcohol swabs?
Oh, alcohol swabs.
Oh,
Cotton
good, good,
swabs,
good. That's
little
important.
Cotton balls, that they charge you $5 a cotton ball. And if you go to the
Right.
doctor's office and they look on your bill, you're like $5 a cotton ball. Holy shit, really? I
Oh.
could buy 100 for
The Rebel
a
charges
nickel.
$50 for a cotton ball.
Then they had 5 more on.
It's absolute. Then they had 20% and 20%, right?
Yes.
Okay, that was a unsolicited, unprovoked attack. Sorry,
Yeah.
keep going.
No, but it's well deserved.
Yeah, so they needles and whatever you need.
Oh my God, it's just irresponsible spending. It's
They-
irresponsible cutting. Hey, let's spend here
Yes.
and let's cut the fucking police
They
out
believe-
so that they can no longer have a CVS.
They believe
It's ridiculous.
the solution to every problem is to spend money.
Is government.
It's the government and to spend money. They have misguided solutions to every problem. I mean, probably not every problem, because we're probably not privy to every problem they're trying to solve.
But
Doesn't it seem like they just constantly come up with the wrong government solution for just about every problem?
Well, they keep voting that way.
And the people don't vote for shit. Meaning the people aren't voting for that legislation, but they're voting for the people that make that
That's
legislation.
what I mean.
Over and over.
That's what I mean.
Over
Why
again?
You had a chance to recall Gavin Newsom.
And they didn't.
Why didn't you do
my
it?
I don't
God.
understand.
Well, I mean, they had a vote. That's why they didn't.
That's
do
what
it.
I mean. They keep voting for that mindset. So they keep putting them in there. So this is your fault,
So
California.
how are they? Is it brainwashing? Is it? It's just.
I just think they just don't know. They're so
Ignorance is
entrenched.
bliss.
They're so because they're not infected by it. A lot of these folks are not infected by it, but a lot of folks are.
Well, you
right?
gotta
You know
ask
what?
And
yourself-
you're starting to see.
And you know what?
You got to ask yourself: are these Dominion machines involved in this voting?
Well, I mean, there was something shady about the recall. I remember there being some, ballot harvesting and all that kind of bullshit. But going back to your point, it's about whether or not you're affected or not, right?
Right.
So the whole drought thing, who does that affect the most? Urban or rural?
the farmers.
Rural, 100% rural, right?
Yep.
So absolutely affects them more than anybody else. So where does all the votes come from?
The city.
Urban, right? So I don't think they care about when and this has been going on for a decade, this whole letting water go out to the ocean because they're trying to keep this one
they're gonna
fish
start
from
caring
going
now because
I mean,
the eggs are going up in price. It's not that that's related to the water, but you have other prices that are exponentially going up. The cost of farming, the carrots, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, these products are all going up in price because the cost to maintain them with the water is it's outrageous.
You would think so, but you know what? They're okay spending $6 a gallon of gas, and they just don't revolt.
They're not okay.
Why
with
are
it,
they
though.
not revolting?
They're not
That's
okay
what I
because
don't
they're
understand.
ignorant. They don't know any better.
Why are the people not revolting
Because
in
they
California?
get free needles.
I-
They could shit in public.
And
they
the-
could shit
and the-
right
and-
outside of Nancy
and the
Pelosi's house.
smart ones are leaving.
Correct.
And Joe Rogan is he's living life large in Austin, Texas.
And he loves it.
Yeah.
I think he's gone. I think he still has some liberalness to him, but I think the more he's here,
He gets freedom. He gets economic
well, it is. And
economic
I think
liberty.
the more he leans to the right, right? I'm
Well,
seeing that
leaning
more.
to the right is kind of normal. I mean, it is. I mean, you have to be a self-absorbed idiot to really want total government rule. I mean, that's
No.
fascist.
No,
Look at AOC. She wants total government
no,
rule.
again, it's an ideology, right? If they want green energy and they want this and they want that and they want they want all these things as part of their idealistic platform, and the only way to get it is with government. Government is the only way they have the power to do it. And so they're on board with giving the government the power to do that because they just believe in those green things.
No, they got to get rid of the government because the few
Agreed.
can't.
Agreed.
I'm tired of paying for others. The masses are slowly but surely moving over to the few because we're equalizing.
You think so?
I think when we look at our youth,
Why do we keep losing elections?
Well, the youth. Well, because because of the media, because of the fraud. There's all kinds of shit. I mean, I don't know. I'd like to throw stones and say that's a media and fraud. Well, the media is absolutely slanted, and if they're
I think
controlling
part of it's
90%,
education. I think part of it's education.
well, it's
Sure.
it's a huge campaign on all fronts, and who's in charge of all that?
Joe Biden.
There are folks out there that say that fucking China owns half, and fucking Saudi Arabia owns all the other half. When it comes to our goddamn government,
I don't know.
nobody knows. That's just it.
The thing that's speaking of China, this doesn't necessarily relate to China, but the shooting that happened out in Monterey Park,
Where's Monterey
Yeah,
Park?
two
Where
of them.
in California,
shootings.
Two shootings. Well, the guy, the one I'm talking about is in Monterey Park. The guy,
California?
Yeah.
where they
this
went
was
into
a lunar
Well, it's the Chinese New Year.
Chinese New Year. Thank you.
Chinese New Year celebration, and the guy went in there and killed 10 people, and immediately,
Oh, it jumped all over.
white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy.
Yep. Assault weapons.
And it ends up being
Mass shooting occurred in Monterey Park, California, United States. The gunman killed 11 people and injured 9 others.
At a dance studio.
yeah, it was a big party.
The ballroom dance studio after an earlier day Lunar New Year festival was on a nearby street.
Correct. But Chuck Schumer, who else did it? There's a bunch of politicians who Schiff came out and said,
Oh, yeah.
This is white supremacy. A bunch of people came out and says, we cannot tolerate white supremacy. This is killing everyone. It's racist.
Yeah, because
bigotry.
They thought it was a hate crime against Asian descent.
So what was it?
It's a
It was an Asian man.
72-year-old Asian dude.
An old Asian man. Both shootings were old Asian
Yes.
men.
There's actually 3 now. Yes.
Yeah, and what was the weapon?
I don't
the
know.
Pistol?
I don't
Did
know.
they say what the weapon was?
I don't know.
Because they always say
shooting.
They always say it's an assault rifle, and all that kind of stuff.
Right. So I found it so
What do you mean a third shooting? What do you mean third
Well,
shooting?
I saw something where there's been 3 elderly Asian shootings, 72, 68, and 63. I don't know what they all are, but I find it there's no repercussions when they come out and say, before they even know, an hour out, they it's a white guy who killed a bunch of Asians.
Yep.
All they got to do is they print it on the fucking the back of the newspaper 3 days later and apologize.
No,
these are the politicians saying it.
They don't even do that.
Chuck Schumer.
Yeah.
He's never going to address
Chuck
it again.
Schumer's
Yeah,
never,
he never
say
goes,
it.
oh, man, I jumped to
I
conclusions.
had it wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a white guy, but it ended up being an elderly Asian descent guy, and I probably shouldn't have done that. Never. Those are words never spoken by somebody who just jumps out and comes up with just spouting bullshit.
Right.
And look at they were all old people. Look at that.
Well, I wonder if it was a seniors
It had
gathering.
to be. It had to be. 57, 62, 63, 65, 67, 70,
I wonder if
64, 68, 72. Wow.
they're still
These-
trying to determine the motive, but
They don't know.
I wonder if it was like a senior group
And
or some
somebody
jealousy or something like that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
somebody was angry at them for excluding him.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to kill you. I don't know. I
Maybe,
mean, they'll never know because the guy killed himself. So
Maybe he lost in Mahjong.
Mahjong could be. I like playing that game.
Have you played it?
Yeah, not like on a computer game, not like with actual tiles.
You know what? I've got the game with tiles.
Oh, really?
I do. I want to play that.
I think it would take too long
don't
to
think
set up.
I know exactly how to play.
It's just a match game.
Because I know it's got the different wins, and I've always been super fascinated by that game.
No, I don't know all the tiles, what they mean, or do they have certain powers. The computer games, it's just a match game.
Yeah.
Match this symbol with this symbol.
Okay.
And
No,
then-
it's
and then
way.
You, and then
so
you try
it's
to
more.
use.
It's more like my understanding is it's more like gin rummy, where
Oh,
you have
yeah, no.
runs. You have runs of things and stuff like that. You know what? I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to read the instructions, and I'm going to see if I can find another
All right.
couple to play that game.
Yeah,
Would you-
because I've
do
had.
you guys like games like that?
what?
Gin
Mahjong?
rummy and mahjong. And
I don't know if I've played gin rummy years ago. I couldn't even tell you how to play that.
Spades,
I played
hearts.
spades and hearts, but
I mean, yeah, those are.
How about dominoes? Fucking
no,
love
I've never
dominoes.
played dominoes.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Dude,
Dominoes is fun.
we're having a dominoes because you can play with 3 guys. You can play with dudes like us.
There you go.
Can
I'll tell you the big
I thought
game.
you had to have 4. It's 4 people for dominoes. Unless you're playing chicken's foot.
I thought it was 5,
You know what?
No, it's 4.
7.
Pretty sure.
No, I don't think
Look
you
how
need 4.
confident-
I don't know. I don't
Look
know
how
anything.
confident we are.
No,
I think it's 5. I think it's 4.
No, it doesn't matter. You can have 2.
I think
you
it's.
can
I
have
think.
3.
And he's like, we can play with 3.
No, we can play with 3. Because really, you just get all.
We
get
actually have
dominoes.
no idea.
I play dominoes.
There's a
Right.
game called Chicken's Foot,
Wow,
which is
that sounds gay.
played with dominoes.
That's a band
And
with Sammy
anybody
Hagar.
can play that. Like any number of people. I think you're thinking of Chicken's Foot.
No, I'm not.
You might be.
I'm thinking playing bones. I'm thinking about.
That's 4. 100% 4 people. 2 teams. Of
It's no.
2.
It's
2
1 1
teams
1.
of 2. It's 2 teams of 2. I can promise you that.
Oh God.
It's not though.
We played that down in Alabama.
Alabama.
Oh my God.
The game we used to play
I'm not really
was
sure why that busted out. I'm
was
sorry.
euchre. You guys ever play euchre?
Euchre?
Bob Euchre?
No, it's just called euchre. We played that when I was a freshman in college. We'd be up all night playing that.
Euchre.
Euchre.
With cards?
Yeah, it's a card. It's just from 9 up. And it was a blast.
We
I
played
love playing
spades.
board games.
Yeah, we played spades.
Played for hours.
Every Friday, it was get drunk, play spades, and go to midnight yell at Texas A&M.
Spades is awesome. Pictionary is awesome.
Trivial Pursuit.
Oh my gosh!
No.
It's the tail end of January already. Fucking
Yeah, the next time we get together is going to be February
Yeah.
of 2023.
God bless.
Yes.
All right. Well, we've got a big night. I got a big night ahead of me. I got a little work
really?
to do.
Well, you have an Apex championship?
We're slammed with work, so I've got a report. I'm on the tail end of. I just want to push it out the door tonight, so I can, long day tomorrow.
So you can play Apex tomorrow?
It's not about Apex, you fuckers.
Yeah.
You fuckers.
And depending on how much you play, you'll be like, sorry, guys, I can't.
Well, you said you have a
I can't
inspection
hang
tomorrow
out.
at 6.
I do have an inspection tomorrow.
That kind of sucks.
It's going to be covered in snow. I think they're going to get canceled.
It's inside, so it's all right.
Inside on the roof?
It's out of the roof.
You know, my wife called me just like Mr. Producer broke in with breaking news.
It's snowing.
My wife called me and I had to leave the table, and she was like,
Yeah, it's a
"Did you know
ticker.
it's snowing?"
No.
Do you know I'm on the podcast? Excuse me.
And I'm like, "Oh my God, woman, what have you done?"
All right, it's snowing. Frisco, Texas. Dudes like us, I'm Sean.
I am Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
Mr. Producer, good night. This is Austin.
No. We're not going to stop until Mr. Producer says, "And I'm Austin."
Or the dog bitches.